Hello everyone, and welcome back for another episode of BRC. In today's episode, we'll be discussing logic circuits, otherwise known as logic gates or Boolean logic gates. Before we get started though, I think it would be wise for me to start setting goals for my videos. So for this video, I'm setting a goal of 20 likes. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button. And if you do, you are truly amazing. Now we have a lot to cover, so let's get on with the episode. So Boolean logic gates, it sounds like a complex subject and you may have never heard of the term before if you've never been in a programming class or done a lot with Redstone. But basically Boolean logic is just a true or false statement, and you can think about your Redstone contraption as an if statement. To give you a better explanation of this, we're going to start off looking at a couple of easy lines of code over in my code editor. Alright, so if you've never worked with code before, then this may look a bit alien, but for the purpose of today's episode, we don't care about any of this stuff right here. We simply want to look at this bit of code right here, and I'm not going to get into a lot of depth on the code itself. The purpose is just to show the relationship between Redstone and coding. These are going to be our inputs, so you can think of these like as two levers. This if statement is going to be our circuit, and this little line of code right here is going to be our logic gate. These two lines of code right here and right here are going to represent our outputs, which will be displayed right down here. For this example, 0 is going to represent the lever being off, and 1 is going to represent it being on. And this simple if statement here is pretty much just saying, if power A is on, then your contraption is powered. And if that's false, then your contraption is not powered. So you can see here, if we go ahead and run it with our lever off, it's going to say your contraption is not powered. But if we change this to a 1, your contraption is powered. Woot! But what if we want to include another power source and have the program or circuit only turn the contraption on if both of the levers are on or equal 1? Well, in our program, we simply add this little bit of code. And now this if statement is not going to be true unless both of them equal 1. As you can see, if I run it, then it's not going to get powered. But if I turn power B now to where it is on, then yay, they both get powered. And you know, this works opposite as well. So if this one's not powered, then it's not powered. And same if they are both off. If you think about it as a lever, yeah, if both levers are off, of course it's not going to be powered. Back over in Minecraft, this is what an AND gate looks like. I colored the different parts of the circuit so they will be easier to see. Our inputs are on orange. Any of our redstone on the bottom layer is on green. Any of the redstone on the upper layer is on blue. And then our output is on pink. I also made some banners to label the different inputs. We have 8 different logic circuits we're going to go over, and I'm going to explain how to construct them. Starting here with the AND gate. We have our 2 inputs going into these redstone torches, which have a redstone dust in between them. These power a redstone torch on the other side, which connects to our output. And because both of these torches up top power the one on the other side, it's not going to turn on until both lever A and lever B are on. Now, I will mention that you are not just limited to 2 inputs on any of the logic gates. In fact, I have some examples of for each gate with multiple inputs. Here is one with 3 inputs. And here is one with multiple inputs. After each circuit, I will pop up a little diagram like this that I made explaining each circuit. Feel free to pause the video if you want to take a closer look at it. The next one is an OR gate. The output of an OR gate will turn on if either A or B are on. There is a small problem with this design right here though, where the inputs actually cross into each other. You can make a pretty simple one where they don't affect each other by placing some blocks here, some right here, and placing some torches here and here. and then placing some redstone dust in between the two of them to make what is known as a torch repeater. And then that creates it to where you can see if I turn this one off, the signal is not being sent over to the other side here. This design here uses an actual repeater to keep the inputs from crossing. And then once again, you can hook up as many inputs as you want to. Here is one with 7 inputs. The next one is a NOT gate, and all a NOT gate does with only one input is invert the redstone signal. So if the input is on, then the output is off, and vice versa. When you hook up a NOT gate on one input and then have a regular line from another input, you get a pretty interesting circuit. This circuit here pretty much says if A is on at all, then I'm not going to work. So you can see here, if I turn on B, it works just fine. But when I turn A on, it actually turns off. And that's because we have a comparator here in subtract mode. And so it takes the redstone signal from A and subtracts it from B. So any point in time, if A is on, it's not going to work. This circuit here has 2 NOT gates and 1 regular gate. So this one pretty much says, if either one of these turn on, turn off. And then I have one here that has 5 different NOT gates. So you can kind of play with this one a little bit, and you can see that turns on just fine there. But if I turn it on either of these, it's not going to turn on. And then this one is going all the way down to here. So if this one is on at all, it's not going to turn on. But then if one of these flip on and turn it off, then it will turn on. Moving swiftly on to the next one, we have the NAND gate, which is just a combination of the AND gate and the NOT gate. This circuit is just the opposite of the AND gate. Instead of having to have both inputs on to turn it on, you have to have both on to turn it off. And the design for this is pretty much just like the AND gate. You can see out the front of the AND gate here, we have torches, and we've taken those out here on the NAND gates. And then so this one here, which has 3, you have to turn on all 3 of these in order to turn it off. And then this one, you have to turn on all of these in order to turn it off. The next one is the NOR gate. Like the NAND gate, it is just a combination of a NOT gate and a OR gate. The design is the same as the OR gate, except we invert the redstone signal with torches. And this one says pretty much, if any of these are on, then turn off. And it's the same no matter how many inputs you have. The last 3 are a little less intuitive. This one is the XOR gate. Basically, this one is saying, I will only turn on if the inputs are different from one another. And as you can see, it turns off when they are both on or they are both off. And this is done by this redstone torch powering these 2 dusts and turning these torches off. But if this is powered at all, then this torch turns off and one of these lamps will be turned on, powering the output. And this is a more compact version of pretty much the same thing, but just redesigned so if you needed to fit it into a different space. And then this last one over here is a combination of 2 of them. So it is a little strange because if you just look at one of them, right? So if the inputs are different, then it is going to turn the lamp on. But over here, you can have these the same and it doesn't do anything. But if I change this to off and then come over here and change these to be different, then the lamp will turn on. This one is the XNOR gate, which is once again just the opposite of the XOR gate. For this one to turn the output on, both inputs have to be the same, whether they are both on or they are both off. It is designed just like the XNOR gate, except for you have to invert the signal at the end. Here we're doing that with a torch. And then this one over here is once again just a more compact version of the same thing. And then this one over here, we have the 4 inputs like we did in that one. This one is a bit unique as well, because now this is saying if any of these 4 inputs are on or opposite or different, then the lamp is going to turn off. Lastly, we have the implies gate. This one is powered when both A and B are on together or off together, and if B is on by itself. Basically, it says if A is on, then is B also on? Because if it's not, then cut off the power. And you can see that here, if we have them both off, then it is powered. If we turn B on, it remains powered. If we turn A on while B is on, it remains powered. But if we have just A on by itself, the power gets cut off. And then this is just a smaller version of that one. And this one is one with 4 inputs. So if either one of these are on, then it'll be on. If all 4 of them are off, it'll be on. But if either one of these are on, without one of these being on as well, then it will turn off. Okay, so wow, we just went through a lot of different redstone circuits. And honestly, before I started this, I didn't know about half of them. I didn't know the XOR, the XNOR, or the implied circuit. So those are going to be super useful for me in the future. If you found any of these useful, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see future content, make sure you subscribe. But before you go, let's see another one of my favorite redstone contraptions. For this episode's favorite contraption, we're going to be looking at a combination lock door designed by Derpy Jhomes. Everyone needs a good, safe area to keep their valuables in, and a combination lock is actually the perfect example of a logic gate being used. Using an AND gate, you can specify which combination will open your piston door. For example, I use this pin. Boop, boop, boop. Door opens up. And if I press it again, boop, 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 the door will close. And then you can see if I press the wrong buttons, nothing happens. So my valuables are nice and safely tucked inside. Oh, maybe not. Since my redstone is clearly now destroyed, you should head over to his channel and check out his tutorial. I will leave a link in the description, but once again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you want to see me blow up more things that I build, don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.